Hey there, grammar fans! Welcome back to another edition of the #GrammarFans video series. Today we're thinking about the grammatical concept of strong verbs. Here's our agenda for the day. First, we're going to consider what strong verbs are and how they're different from weak verbs. Then we're going to take a look at some specific examples of strong verbs in sports writing. Today is the first day of the Pittsburgh Penguins NHL season for 2016-17. So we're going to take a look at some examples of strong verb usage in a Sports Illustrated article from last June when the Penguins won the Stanley Cup, and consider how those strong verbs play a role in the author of that piece expressing ideas and information as clearly and effectively as possible. As such, I'm representing my Penguins jersey as part of this activity. So first of all, what are strong verbs? Well, strong verbs are verbs that clearly and specifically convey a particular idea to a reader. In contrast, a weak verb is a verb that isn't very clear or precise in the information that it expresses. Some particularly weak verbs often used by students in their writing in the K through 12 classroom are forms of said and went. For example, if an author said, "The runners went down the track," well, that sentence gives you some basic information. It lets you know essentially what's going on. But if you replaced that verb went with a much more specific or stronger version like sprinted, it's a lot easier for the reader and the listener to understand exactly what's taking place. It allows for the reader and writer to be on the same page much more clearly and much more directly. In this issue of Sports Illustrated that we'll take a look at now and consider some specific excerpts from that, one great example of a strong verb that stood out to me when I examined this article is the strong verb tweaked in the statement about the Penguins coach, Mike Sullivan. Coach Mike Sullivan tweaked the Penguins' strategy. I think that's a wonderful strong verb because it's a strong and specific version of the verb changed. If the author said Mike Sullivan changed the Penguins' strategy, again, we'd know in a basic sense what's happening, but the strong verb tweaked gives us specific information about exactly how and the extent to which he changed the strategy, knowing that these weren't major changes, but rather minor adjustments. That strong verb tweaked lets us know that information. Another example of a really effectively used strong verb from that article is when talking about Pittsburgh Penguins player